Man, man with Habibis. If you say, I'm slowly coming back. That's what I was saying. The cat was laying on the keyboard. And when you keep all the keyboards pressed down for a while, my computer just freezes because it doesn't understand cat laying down on keyboard language. I had to restart the PC. And now I'm setting up the streams again. As I do broadcast on Twitch, YouTube verticals, and YouTube widescreen. Oh, there we go. There we go. So I am back all over the place. Ugh. Then I need to set up the text chat to speech and all that stuff. Oh, man. So yeah, having a good conversation there. Unfortunately, I didn't mean to rage quit, but I felt like rage quitting, but I didn't do it. My cat did. Rewards enable on channel. You can get an Apple TV subscription, folks. If you watch me on Twitch. Okay. Oh, Lord Almighty. Okay, now let's go back to the garage and see what mods I can do to this. I think I've already done a couple, but I'm at 628 of 630. Okay, so I got good tires. I don't have good brakes. Got a good camshaft, and is that it? That is it. Dang. Okay. No, I lost a few viewers that I had because of you guys. Daddy not happy. Hello, Manda Salave. Danilo Silva. First time chatter. I guess Project Cars is really popular in South America because you guys are always the first to hop on here, but then you realize I speak English and leave. Get in the car. Yes. Custom event. Welcome to the chat room.
Sergeant Master says, welcome to the chat room. JeePs Media Live says, welcome to the chat room. JeePs Media Live says, welcome to the chat room.
No. No. You're not getting back on the keyboard. Oh, baby. No. Oh, baby, Tana. No.
Keep focused, mate. You can do this. You'll make it up later. That's P5. Don't stop pushing. Let's catch the leaders.
DP Modin says, hi.
Hey,
JeePs
welcome
Media
back.
Live says, hi, DP Modin. DP Modin says, I hope you win the race.
Well, I don't think I will, but thank you. Especially if I don't concentrate on it, right? I'm really a bad driver. Whoops, my camera's not on. Okay. Gonna have to fix that after the race.
DP Modin says, go go.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
DP Modin says, you got it.
No I don't. Not even close.
DP Modin says, I believe in you.
Well, thank you. Feel free to leave me a super chat if you really feel that way. No, come on. Okay, maybe if I cheat a little bit here.
Decent result, not quite on the podium today, so let's put our focus now on the next race.
Okay, let me fix my camera here real quick if I can. So why is the camera not working?
DP Modin says, how long are you going to be live for?
Good question. I don't know. It depends if anybody comes and talks to me or not. But earlier my stream crashed, so I lost all my viewers, so I don't know. Okay, so hopefully this works. There we go. That works. Perfect. There we go. So now it should be better. There we go. Yes, it is a little bit. I'll just center myself.
DP Modin says, okay, thank you for telling me.
I could be on for a couple of hours, like I could be on for a couple of minutes, but I'm on every day. So make sure you subscribe and leave a like on the video and click on that notification bell. That way you will know when I go live. I want to redo this race and I forgot. I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, restart. There we go. Yes. Let's race again, folks. Hopefully I have a better race this time around.
Well done. Second place. Keep digging.
Much better race.
DP Moden says, I told you you would get it.
Well, still 2 laps to go, and I'm not a good driver, so I could actually crash again.
DP Moden says, I subscribed and liked.
Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
You've got a 3-second lead. That's
Well, what kind of
great.
games do you like to
Keep
play?
pushing. Final lap and we're leading. Let's bring you home. You can do this.
Struggle Boxing says, when you start playing racing games.
Hey, struggle boxing. Long time no see, my friend. How are you?
DP Moden says, What was the other game you were playing last stream?
Probably Genshin again. Genshin Impact,
Struggle
Wuthering
Boxing
Waves.
says, I'm good. Hope or well.
For the most part, yeah.
Struggle Boxing says, I get that leak fixed. Struggle Boxing says, you. DP Modin says, can you play that game?
Well, not at this moment, because I was pretty angry at the game. If by the leak, you're talking about the fact that this winter I didn't have any water because the main pipe burst. Yeah, it's been fixed since.
Great driving. You nailed it. That was absolutely dominant from start to finish.
Struggle Boxing says, okay, good.
Yeah, that was a pain in the neck. Hey, Struggle Boxing, since you are a boxing fan, have you watched the
DP Modin
Olympics?
says, good job.
Thank you. Did you watch the boxing in the Olympics, and what do you think about that man that was smashing that woman to smithereens? 2 punches and she gave up. Okay, I'm liking this little car now. Let's find another track for it.
Struggle Boxing says, yes. It's been pretty wild. There is actually 2 men fighting women.
Yeah, I think the other one's a Thailandese or Filipino. I don't remember exactly. I know he was like Asian. Maybe even Korean. I don't remember. I haven't seen the other one box. I just saw that one and I'm like, man, really? Are we going there? I did not think that the Olympics would be mixed now, so apparently they're mixed. Personally, I don't accept it. I really don't.
Struggle Boxing says, one from Taiwan also. There
Okay,
are also 2
that's
men
it.
on Zambia playing against the women. They broke the record for the fastest to score 5 goals. DP Modin says, I have to go by.
Okay,
Struggle
DP
Boxing
Modem.
says, in soccer.
I'll catch you later, DP. And soccer, I did not think that they were gonna go there this year, but then I saw the opening, and I just knew it was gonna be a mess. I've been saying it for years that men do no. Women don't
Struggle Boxing
understand.
says, the guy that runs the IOC is super woke.
Yeah, I saw that. He keeps calling them women and not transgenders. They're not women, they're men.
Focus on the lights. Go for
I
the kick and
completely
away.
disagree
Defend
with
that
that,
pole
what they're
position.
doing. A woman's gonna get killed, you know that? And
Struggle
it'll be on
Boxing
live
says.
TV.
He says that they will not do sex testing and that is barbaric.
Yeah, well, so that's what I'm saying. At some point, we are going
Struggle
to see a
Boxing
woman get
says.
killed on
They
live
gonna
TV.
get sued.
Oh yeah, because a woman's gonna die. A woman's gonna die on live TV for the whole world to see. And they're still not gonna change it. I'm anxious to see that go to UFC. That'll be interesting. Men beating up on women in the UFC, that'll be really fun. We are heading back towards the days of gladiators, you know. We're gonna put a woman in there and try to fight an elephant and see how
Struggle
well that
Boxing
goes.
says. But if you want to make some easy money, put it on them to win.
Well, if you wanna, yeah, if you wanna see it that way, I don't have any money to put on anything, but.
Struggle Boxing says. This one millionaire already made millions.
I am not surprised. Start taking bets as to when somebody's gonna actually die, though. I'm guessing it'll probably happen in this Olympic.
Struggle Boxing says. Deadpool.
Have you seen the movie? Talking about Deadpool. I saw the movie Wolverine Deadpool. I liked it. I mean, it was too many jokes, like one after the other after the other. Like 1 in 5 jokes is funny. 4 out of 5 I didn't really get it, but it was a good movie overall. Well, it was an okay movie. It's not a great movie, but it was okay. I wouldn't say that Marvel is back yet, but now they're bringing back Iron Man to play
Struggle
Dr.
Boxing
Doom.
says. No, but isn't that what it's called when you bet on a person to die? I'm not sure.
Oh, yes it is. Deadpool. Yes, you are right. I mean, I'm not hoping that anybody's gonna die. It just feels like that's what's gonna happen. If you have men beating up on women, see, I don't understand, because a lot of women are for this kind of crap. They're like, oh yes, you men. You want to control everything, let people be. Yeah, well. So women want to be beaten down by men. I don't understand it.
Struggle Boxing says. Women fought for the trans, now they have to fight the trans.
Yep, exactly. That makes a lot of sense.
checkered flag. Decent race. Good job.
Okay, well, Monza's not necessarily a good track for this car. I need something with more curves. It's just ridiculous. I'm dumbfounded by all the stuff that is happening. People trying to shoot Trump and the Secret Service. Did you see the women that were supposed to protect him? When the bullets started flying, they were hiding behind the president. They're supposed to be in front, protecting him. The women were behind them. Ah, man, everything is going bonkers. You know, I've seen some really good policewomen officers, and they were not hired on that day. Everything is getting just super crazy.
Struggle Boxing says, I'm sure Deadpool was good for the hardcore Marvel fanboys. I think it's gonna be kinda corny personally. No, I didn't see that, but women gonna be women when stuff hit the fan.
Yeah, that's one way of seeing it. Well, Deadpool, I have an issue because Wolverine already died, right? He had his send-off movie and he died protecting X3 or whatever her name is. So they had to go into the multiverse to get another Wolverine. I am so fed up of the multiverse. So yes, you're right, it was corny. But it was a lot better than Captain Marvel. Or WandaVision. But no, I've seen women do a great job, but the women that were protecting Trump that day were hiding behind him instead of in between him and the bullets. I mean, they have bulletproof vests. Yes, they're wearing a suit, but it's bulletproof. You need to be in front.
Struggle Boxing says, but that movie Logan was set in 2030 plus. What time period was Deadpool set in?
That's a good question. I don't know. But in Deadpool Wolverine, he is still dead, and they have to go and get another one in the multiverse. So if Logan movie was set in 2030, then this movie is set in 2030.
Keep an eye on the lights. Control the wheel spin and let's nail this start.
Struggle Boxing says, I don't think they thought it out much. That's the problem with multiverse. They can just make stuff up as they go.
Well, I agree. Like, it's corny because, you know, they need this to bring those two in. Like, they should have made this movie 10 years ago. Unfortunately, Ryan Reynolds wasn't Deadpool yet. And Logan was about to retire because he was tired of doing the X-Men thing. But they should have done this movie like 10 years ago. I guess it's better late than never. So there's a lot of good things in the movie, but yes, there's a lot of corny things. I just like it because it was better than everything else I've seen.
Struggle Boxing says, they are trying their best to bring back the Marvel fans that have up on M.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately...
Struggle Boxing says, gave up.
Oh yeah, I gave up. I gave up after Endgame. I didn't like Captain Marvel movie before Endgame, and you know, I did not watch Loki, the series. A lot of the series I'm not even watching anymore. But yeah, I kind of gave up. You know, I thought Disney was gonna do a good job, but they really wrecked Star Wars. I don't know if you watched The Acolyte. Man, that show was bad. Space lesbian witches in space. It was just really bad.
Struggle Boxing says, the best thing about the Captain Marvel movie was the Blockbuster rental store.
It brought back some memories. And I haven't seen a Blockbuster in forever. I remember when that chain became popular. Like, we've always had video stores growing up, but Blockbuster brought it to a new level, and you could even rent console games, PlayStation 1s, and rent video games. Before that, it was just VHS tapes. Blockbuster brought the DVDs, they brought the Blu-rays, they brought the consoles, renting out games. And overnight they just vanished. I probably blame the VHS companies, the VCR companies.
Struggle Boxing says, Blockbuster headquarters was here in Dallas. Not even lying, there was a Blockbuster right across the street from another Blockbuster during the peak.
Dang. Blockbuster started going under when the internet came around. Once you were able to watch your everything online, and my VCR broke, and because I could watch everything online, I didn't felt the need to buy a DVD or a Blu-ray or another VCR. I just had a computer and I was watching my movies online. And then everything became illegal, and then Netflix came in, and now I watch everything on Netflix, so...
Struggle Boxing says, it went under right around the time Netflix started blowing up.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't need hard media anymore. Well, I kind of hate Sony for that, because you own nothing anymore. You know, it's like you buy a game and 2 years later it's discontinued and you don't own it. Like Adobe, or everything from Adobe, you don't own nothing anymore. Pay to use. It's a subscription fee.
Struggle Boxing says, Netflix even wanted to partner with Blockbuster, and Blockbuster CEO essentially laughed in their face.
Yeah, a lot of people were laughing at the streaming services, thinking it would never work. And honestly, I don't know if Netflix are really making any money. They're getting a lot of views, but they're not making money, and they're even removing their cheapest package to force people to pay more now.
DP Moden says, I'm back.
Welcome back. And there's a lot of competition now with the streaming, and a lot of them are going down. I think Paramount Plus is disappearing. I'm not sure what's going to happen to Apple and to what's that other? Disney Plus is going under. Disney Plus is not doing good. Okay, maybe Deadpool Wolverine extended the life of Disney Plus for a year, but it's still not profitable. Man, yeah, that blockbuster. Seeing that blockbuster was funny. Okay, let's try to find another track. The Nürburgring. Where's the Nürburgring?
Struggle Boxing says, I worked at Hollywood Video. You ever heard of that? I read Max or Max was in talks to buy Paramount.
Yeah, I heard that too. I think that's
Struggle
gonna go
Boxing
through.
says, Max Discovery.
Yeah, Paramount is going bye-bye. No, I've never heard of Hollywood Video. Man, my first video store, I don't even remember the name of it, and I went to there for like 4 or 5 years straight, and I don't even remember the name of it. It was just a local video store that was kind of the new thing, but they didn't really have a brand name or nothing. It was all independents all over the place. And the first chain I saw was Blockbuster. And they were like, 20 times the size. The store was 20 times the size of my local, rental store that I was going to for 4 or 5 years. Blockbuster had these huge building, neon signs everywhere, black lights everywhere, TVs with PlayStations hooked up to them that you can even try there on location. That's when I saw that, hey, the graphics are pretty good, because I never liked Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Sega. I started on Ataris and all that stuff, Colecos, and television. And when Nintendo came out, it was just more of the same. I didn't think that the graphics were better. So it was like just more of the same, but when PlayStation come out and the graphics were so much better. I mean, 3D brought, Gran Turismo.
Struggle Boxing says, there is one Blockbuster left, in Bend, Oregon. I don't know how that was even possible since they went bankrupt. You hated the Sprite era graphics.
Yes, I hated those. I know that's your icon thing, but It's been around since forever. No, I was not a fan. But yeah, started playing NHL and Gran Turismo, Mech Warrior, and some other space car race game. I don't know what it was, but it was a lot of fun. I'm not a fan of games that you can push on the boost button. Like, okay, sometimes I wish I had a boost button here, but I'm happy I don't. Okay, I don't want my cat on the keyboard because he pushes down all on the keys and it freezes up my PC, and then I had to restart my stream earlier today. So you guys don't see him here, but he's right here. Oh shoot. Oh, now you can see him. He wants to lay down my keyboard and fudge my stream again. I don't want you there, kitty cat. Yeah, as soon as you put something on the keyboard, you're down from there.
Struggle Boxing says, I still play pixel games. Mario was the first video game I played. I didn't even knew video games existed that you could play at home until we got one for Christmas '89.
Okay, well, have you ever heard of a TRS-80 from Radio Shack? It was like one of the first home computers that you can buy. And you had cassettes and you had games. And I used to play a game called Downfall. And at that time, I thought it was a copy of Mario from Donkey Kong. And then a couple of years later, Nintendo comes out with Super Mario. And I'm like, man, I've been playing Mario since forever. The graphics are not even better.
Struggle Boxing says, no, I never heard of that, but my first game was this little calculator size F1 game from Radio Shack.
And you know, Radio Shack 2 was big in the day, and now they're gone as well.
Last lap, it's the last lap, and you can still take second. Keep on it.
You know, I remember movies like E.T. and they have to go into
Struggle
a Radio
Boxing
Shack
says,
and
Radio Shack headquarters was also here in Dallas. Struggle Boxing says, Dallas.
yeah. Well, all the tech giants used to be in Dallas. Texas Instrument used to be huge back in the day. A lot of technology. I don't know. I think, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you still have like IBM and stuff there.
Struggle Boxing says, Texas Instruments is right down the street from me.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had all the big tech companies there back in the day. And for some reason, all the technology went to Taiwan, which I'm pretty upset about. Samsung and all those things. But I think, I'm not sure, but I think that you guys are building a new facility for super chips. I don't know where it is. I hope it is going to be in Dallas.
Struggle Boxing says, getting into Texas Instruments is like going into a military base. It's so much security.
I would not be surprised. If I'm not mistaken, Texas Instruments still does a lot of stuff for the aviation and military stuff, so I would not be surprised. If you're making stuff for the military, yeah, you're gonna need some security clearance.
Struggle Boxing says, yeah, they are still big.
Not as big as they once were. It depends on the military contracts, because I know in the States that can be ludicrous. Okay, my cat's clicking on the buttons again. I don't want to crash this. Okay. I love my cats. And he's here just because he wants to go outside. But it's raining outside. My windows are all wet. I have the AC going, so I can't hear outside, but I'm looking at the window and it's all wet. So guess what? It's raining outside, cats. Okay, time to find another track. And Radio Shack used to be huge. It used to be one of my favorite places to go. Just to look at all the stuff that you could build. Like, oh, if I had that and solar panels and all kinds of stuff, I could build myself a robot. I'd have somebody to play with. Make myself a robot friend. I was really nerdy when I was a kid. Unfortunately, back in my days, you would get beaten up because you were a nerd. Now it's super cool to be a nerd. Everybody
Struggle
wants
Boxing
to be a
says,
nerd.
I went there during their closing. They had a huge outlet store in Fort Worth.
Look at the size of my cat's head. It's twice the size of my head. It's a good thing we're talking about camera angles, right? His head is not really that big. But it looks big. I'm looking at it. It looks big. He's just so happy. Look at him. He's so happy. He's a good boy. My big babies. I've been taking them for daily walks. I mean, loose. I used to let them loose in the backyard and go out there with them, but now we go for walks. No leashes, no nothing, just being free in the fields out back, and they really like it. I think Texas is the only right state in the States. I know they're very conservative, but all the other, like California, is so far left that it makes no sense. There's no common sense whatsoever. New York has gone downhill for the past 30 years. I think Texas is one of the best states in the States. Now, if I had to go and visit a city and I had the choice between Las Vegas and Dallas, I would go to Dallas. I don't like Vegas.
Struggle Boxing says, I don't notice much wokeness here now that I think about it.
Well, even if there is some, they're not as bad as everywhere else. Like, you can be gay, you can be transgender, you can be whatever you want, but you know, you keep it in between your legs and you don't bother people about it. Like, you're not gonna get on a bicycle naked and run around in front of kids and stuff. Dang. I cannot get a hang of this strap. Like, you know, you're not gonna have 50 gay parades, pride parades in a year. You'll have one, it'll be modest, and that's the end of that.
Struggle Boxing says, Naked and Afraid Bicycle Edition.
I've actually watched an episode of Naked and Afraid, and I still don't get it. I still don't get the concept.
Last lap now, come on, go.
I don't know what they were thinking. Like, you know, the first time I started watching Survivor, I don't understand why nobody's building shelters and doing fires.
Struggle Boxing says, that's my mom's favorite show.
Really? Your mom watches Naked and Afraid. Crazy. I mean, I don't know, well, I don't know how it is in the States, but here, from what I saw, everything is blurred out. So, for me, they're not really naked because you can't really see nothing. But yes, they are naked. But I don't know. If I had to survive, I mean, I'm from Canada. So let's just say that in the winter, being naked is not going to work out for you, you know? You're gonna go and kill a bear and wear some bear skin, you know?
Struggle Boxing says, she watches it like every day. It's blurred in the front, not in the back here.
Okay.
There's the checkered flag. Decent race. Good job.
Dang, this is a short circuit and I can't get a hang of it. I don't know. It's like Survivor, you know. I thought people would try to survive, but they're looking for idols and voting everybody out and blindsiding them. It's a social experiment game. It's not really surviving on an island. It's always about the drama queens. Luckily, there's a lot of YouTube videos that you can watch where the guy just builds his own log cabin out in the woods. One show I've been watching a lot lately is a lot of Gordon Ramsay. Man, I love him. Kitchen Nightmares. Hell on Wheels. Kitchen Nightmares, Britain Edition. Just going, or Hotel, what is it? Hotel Hell? I saw one episode of Hotel Hell and man, People are just, they don't deserve a restaurant. I don't know why he goes and saves them. I mean, sometimes a waiter or the sous chef deserves to have a business more than the owners. But I do like Gordon Ramsay as a person, so. Apparently he got injured lately. Apparently he had a really bad bicycle accident, and he was all blue and black on one side. He got hit by a car. And apparently he's super happy to be wearing his helmet because he says he would have died. Naked and Afraid. My mom watches that show. That's funny. That's not what I would consider the typical mom show. Like, what was that? The Amazing Race? You'd think your mom would watch The Amazing Race kind of a show instead of watching Naked and Afraid. Maybe I'll start watching it. I don't know. There's not much to watch lately. Like, I really like House of the Dragon. I watched Snowpiercer yesterday. The main character got out of character for half the show, which really, I don't know, kind of put me off.
Keep an eye on the lights.
Like, for 3 seasons, he's, the general fighting the revolution for his people. And half the show is like, fuck everybody, I need to go and save my daughter. I don't care if everybody dies. Kind of out of character after spending 3 seasons saving everybody. Then they put it to a vote, and then the people want to help him to rescue his daughter. Okay. Couldn't you start off the show with putting it to a vote and getting us emotionally invested in your speech?
We're in sight of the podium.
Instead of going completely out of character? Like, yes, if your daughter got kidnapped, you would go off the rails. But they didn't show how it was. It was just very not well done.
Struggle Boxing says, have you seen Joe Schmo? It was
Nope.
about a guy competing with others to be a millionaire, but everyone else is a cross and know it's fake but he doesn't. It was actually pretty funny. Struggle Boxing says, actors.
No. See, that's the kind of thing I'm not interested though. Stuff about millionaires. You look at what's happening with Mr. Beast and all these social things and Dr. Disrespect. All these millionaire giants, I'm not a fan of that stuff.
Struggle Boxing says, it was a show about a guy not knowing the show was fake.
A show about a fake show. I don't know, well, everything is always fake, so. Even Gordon Ramsay, And he received a lot of flack because
Struggle Boxing says, Yes, exactly.
Even Gordon Ramsay, you know, is scripted and he's been accused of it and, you know, and he's admitted it though. Says, yes, I'm building an empire. And he is. Dude went from opening up his own restaurant to being a franchise, you know. He's told himself it's just, you know, even when it is scripted, he'll admit it. Yeah, it's scripted.
Struggle Boxing says, did you see when someone took him out during a soccer match?
Nope, I did not. What do you mean somebody took him out? Somebody knocked the wind out of him?
Struggle Boxing says, he got messed up. That wasn't scripted.
No, not everything is scripted, but he's admitted to stuff, you know. He got a lot of flack and tried to make things better. Like when Hell's Kitchen came out, he had a really good sous chef working. I think she was a Thailandese girl, I forget. She was really good in first season. And she was pissed off because basically you're bringing people in that know nothing about cooking, can't even peel a potato, and you're giving them a restaurant, you know.
Struggle Boxing says, I know what we're saying. Definitely check it out sometime. You will get a good laugh.
Ramsey soccer match? Yes, I will definitely look it up.
That's the best Sector 1 time of anyone so far. Great job. Keep it up.
This car is doing really good on this circuit, isn't it? I'm having fun here. If I was 20 years old, I'd really like to have this car in real life. And I could just imagine the cops chasing me. No, it's street legal, it's not a race car. Looks like a mini Formula 1 car. Or four-wheeled motorcycle
Struggle Boxing
thing.
says, yeah, you looking like Mario Andretti out there.
That was a masterful piece of driving. Great job.
Man, I was so hoping that the Andrettis would be getting into Formula 1. And it's taken forever. I used to watch Michael Andretti race when he was a lot younger. I'm gonna have to go off cam here, because I no longer vape on camera, so I did not know it was against the guidelines, YouTube's community guidelines. I thought YouTube was like Twitch. And here I was, you know, vaping all the time. And every once in a while somebody came in and said, you shouldn't be doing that on YouTube. Somebody should have came in and just told me that it was against the community guidelines.
Struggle Boxing says, I seen people smoking blunts on YT.
Yeah, but it's against the community guidelines. So they can pull your channel. if they wanted to for no reason. So even once in a while I have to put this message up. You know, because sometimes I
Struggle
start...
Boxing says. Oh okay. Didn't know that. It's lots of people playing with.
Yep. Like, I don't know, let's say my channel becomes super popular and I get like 1 million viewers. And then one day I say, well, you know, I don't really like YT because, you know, they're not cool. Well, they can pull my channel up saying, you know, you remember one of your first streams there that's still in your library list? Well, that was against the community guidelines. We let it fly back then, but we've decided, you know, we're going to pull your channel because of it. Oh, can't be using tobacco products. And even the language is, you know, sometimes some people come in here and we get pretty spicy, especially with those anime characters. You know, because some of them look like children. Even if in the storyline they're like 3,000 years old, they still look like children, so no, it's inappropriate to be talking about stuff. So I need a whole bunch of moderators and, you know, put some warnings up there, because sometimes, you know, I could see a character and I could be talking about her bumpers and stuff, and it's inappropriate for young viewers. Okay, I've been having a lot of fun with this little car today. Usually I build my cars all engine and no handling, and this one I decided, you know what, I'm going to try a little bit of handling. And I'm really enjoying it. It's not fast though, so I can't really do straight lines with it. But man, am I having fun in the curves. Yeah, it's back in the day, you know, I used to do reviews and I used to put trailers. And it used to say the owner of this video allows it to be used on YouTube. But as soon as my channel went monetized, then I'm getting warnings that these videos cannot be monetized.
Struggle Boxing says. It's always fun in the curves.
Yes, it is. Are you still playing that Disney thing? I gave up on that a long time ago. I really hate Disney with a passion. I mean, okay, it's kind of like Mario Kart, but I just hate Disney so much as a company. Like, I went to Walt Disney
Struggle
World and
Boxing says. Dude, I'm a boss on there. One of the best players every time I race.
good. Well, you were already getting a lot better than I was.
Struggle Boxing says. I rarely don't place first.
Really? Okay. And I've uninstalled that game a long time ago. My cats are bored. Ooh, it actually stopped raining. Okay. Well, he wants to let me know that it stopped raining now, but I'm still not going to let him out. There's no room for you, kitty cat. I already have one cat there. I need to find another track, though. Okay, let's find another track. Well, see, this is Texas Motor Speedway, and I'm not gonna race there. I'm not a fan of NASCAR.
Struggle Boxing says, the more you play the faster and better your characters. That's why we was getting smoked so much back then.
That makes sense.
Struggle Boxing says, I've been to Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I prefer Road America. Hey, I do have a Road America somewheres. Let's try to find Road America. There we go. My cat is such a pain in the butt. You even have to go and bother the other cat. It's like you're not bothering Daddy enough. Maybe if we bother him together, we will win.
Struggle Boxing says, the guys from Orange County Chopper was there and Mikey sang the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh man. I used to love that show in the first season. I thought it was a great concept. But man, they just got on my nerves. And apparently he went bankrupt. He was such a lousy businessman. And a guy actually bought one of those motorcycles and it was complete trash.
Struggle Boxing says, they went downhill fast.
Yeah, the quality of the bikes wasn't there and the frame broke in 50 million places and they were showpieces. They weren't really motorcycles to ride. And I used to love,
Struggle Boxing says, yeah, that's why his son and him had a major falling out.
Well, they constantly had falling outs.
Stay safe out there and see if we can take some of these guys off the grid.
What does it mean, stay safe out there? Man, is this a circuit that my character's gonna die here? Okay, well, I'm pretty much starting in last position, so we'll see how this goes.
Good job, that's 8th place. 7th isn't far away.
In the straights, I can't keep up with them, but I like the handling of this car. It's a slower pace
Struggle
game.
Boxing says, I'm about to get on Halo for a bit. I have to play 470 matches in 30 days to unlock a helmet, lol.
Oh boy, that's another game I uninstalled. By the way, speaking of Halo, they canceled the 3rd season. I don't know if you were watching the show on television. I was a little bit disappointed, but I thought the 2nd season was a little bit better than the 1st. But they completely scrapped it. And everybody's mad at 343 now. They've run the brand into the ground. And all they want to do is remakes of the original 3 first ones. That'll take 2 or 3 years in between each. So for the next decade, all we would be getting is more of the old stuff.
Struggle Boxing says, I seen that. I didn't watch the show because the creator of the show said that it wasn't for Halo players.
No, Master Chief never has a helmet on. He's got a couple of sex scenes, has himself a girlfriend. He's nothing like the cyborg that we know him to be. But it was more Halo in the second season than it was in the first.
Struggle Boxing says, Master Cheeks.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it was. Oh, shoot. Okay. Almost went straight off the line there. So I'm a little bit sad, but I'm hoping that they'll make another. They need to fire everybody at 343 and let another company. Bungie was a lot better than 343. Bring back a sexy Cortana, bring back Master Chief, and give us new stories. Like we found a Halo ring, but maybe we could find the
Struggle
prototype.
Boxing says, the writers said they didn't look at anything in the game.
Exactly. That was a big problem. It's pretty much the same thing with Star Wars and the same thing with Marvel, and the writers have no idea what was done before. They just put identity politics into it.
Struggle Boxing says, I'll check it out at some point.
Last lap, it's the last lap, and you can still take second. Keep on it until the checkered flag.
You know, they're coming out with a new Star Trek. Section 31, it's going to be, I think, a TV special movie, a TV movie. I don't think it's going to be out in theaters. I could be mistaken. Maybe it's going to come out in theaters.
Reeling in the gap, this is great stuff. Line yourself and go for it.
But they're like, oh, for once, we're going to have a black person in the show. Well, we've had 5 seasons of a black girl being the captain. So I don't know what she's talking about being the first black girl in Star Trek. You know, it's all about no story and just being the first black person, the first trans person, the first lesbian, the first gay. I just want to vomit all the time. I mean, that, when you start watching Halo, that's where you think it's gonna go. You're gonna discover that,
Struggle Boxing says, oh, as for Star Wars, I vowed to never watch another Star Wars after that trilogy that came out in 2000s, and when Lucas sold out I was definitely done. If the creators sell out, why should I support it? Is Struggle Boxing says, how I looked at it.
Well, I was hoping it would get better. I did like The Mandalorian. The first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian was good. And at some point they even brought back Luke Skywalker. But Disney says, yeah, we need Baby Yoda to come back because he's our merchandise. So at the beginning of season 3 is like, okay, forget that season 2 happened,
The
folks.
competition was tough today. Don't let it affect you. You'll take them on the
And then it's not even the Mandalorian show because it's the woman Mandalorian show. So the star of the show gets sidetracked for the new boss, girl boss. It was crap. Ugh.
Struggle Boxing says, my cousin is a huge Star Wars fan and he said the same thing you said about Mondo.
It was good. The first 2 seasons was really good. It was a ray of hope that maybe, you know, Disney ain't gonna fuck it all up. But no, they fudged it all up. And they even doubled down. Like, you know, I don't know if you remember, but Luke and Leia were twins, right? And, you know, they came out with the Acolyte show, and it's
Struggle
space.
Boxing says, they tripled down.
They tripled down. In the series The Acolyte, we're going back 100 years before Luke and Darth Vader and all these folks. Even though the Jedi have said in the movies that we haven't seen the Sith for 1,000 years, we're going back 100 years and there's this Sith killing a bunch of Jedis. Like, it's supposed to be a really hard fight between, you know, there's supposed to be 2 equal but opposite sides of the same coin. But in the Acolyte, you have one Sith killing like 16, 17, 18, 20 Jedis. And then you come across this colony of lesbian witches. And apparently one provided the sperm, the other one the egg. I don't know how that works, but they're space witches, so I guess it's allowed. And then they made
Struggle Boxing says, what was the Star Wars show where they was chasing that little girl and they couldn't catch her and she was running slow AF?
That was Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And that was Princess Leia that Obi-Wan was chasing. But Obi-Wan never saw Leia, because if you remember in the first movie, Leia's talking to R2-D2 and she's like, oh, General Kenobi, you used to be a friend with my father and I need your help. Well, you go back to the Kenobi series and apparently he was her babysitter, which makes no sense. Then you go back to 100 years and the Sith are killing like 20, 50 Jedis. You got these space witches that made a kid. 2 lesbians made twin girls that are strong with the Force. So not stealing the twin idea from Leia and Luke, but they made the first Force super duper twins. And apparently, one Jedi took over the mind controlled and killed all the space witches instantaneously. Which makes no sense. But the Jedi are the bad people in the show, so they deserve to die. Because they wanted to take these twins away from the witches and show them the way of the Force. And not to be evil and space witches. And make more space babies. It's just gotten really vomiting, triple down crap. I'm sad by everything. Like, just give me a good story.
Struggle Boxing says. Space Witches. LOL, did you watch Rebel Moon director's cut?
Wasn't that a movie, Rebel Moon? Oh, no! That was, what was it, Zack Snyder's? I didn't see the director's cut. I did see Rebel Moon, and I really did not like it.
Struggle Boxing says. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Rebel Moon was really bad. I thought it was gonna be good. Like, Zack
Struggle
Snyder was
Boxing
like,
says. I think it just came out.
he was like, oh, this is my version of Star Wars. If they would have given me the contract for Star Wars, this is what I would have done in the
Struggle
movies.
Boxing says. The director's cut.
I have not seen the director's cut. I just saw the original episode 1 and episode 2. And it was really not good. It was really bad. Because of that, I started watching all the old shows. Farscape and Stargate, SG-1. I even watched, what was it,
Usama bin Laden
Cosmos?
says. Hello again.
Hello again. I started watching
Struggle
Cosmos
Boxing says.
1999.
Dang. Zack Snyder done fell off.
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth watching the director's cut. Because even if he adds like 25% more footage, the 75% that I saw was really bad. And how can I say, there was a movie once, dang. I forget what it was. I'll have to find I'll do a review of that thing soon. But everything from Rebel Moon was stolen from that movie. Dang, okay. What was the show where we had the Waltons? Okay. The Waltons was an American drama series. Richard Thomas, okay, that's who the actor in there. Now, can I check out his MIDB? And I'll be able to find the movie that I'm talking about. Battle Beyond the Stars, 1980. Battle Beyond the Stars from 1980 is basically Rebel Moon. It's better than Rebel Moon in so many ways. Even though it's a movie from 1980, it's so much better than Rebel Moon. It's the same story. The exact same story.
Struggle Boxing says. I'm going to watch the trailer and see what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah. Well, what time is it? See, it's almost 11 o'clock. It's time for me to end my stream as well. And to just chill out and watch some stuff. You already told me to go and watch Gordon Ramsay's soccer match. So I'll do that, and I'll probably watch a movie or something to do some reviews tomorrow. So, yeah. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by, Struggle Boxes. It's been a while since we had a good chat. Much appreciated. I like somebody, to talk to. A good person to talk to. And I'll still keep an eye on the Olympics because these boxing matches are driving me nuts. I so hate it when a man hits a woman, and that's just, I mean, I don't know. If the woman at least spit in his face or something, I could kind of understand it, but I don't think it's right. But okay, I might also look at the trailer for the director's cut. I might actually watch it.
Struggle Boxing says, I just watched the trailer. That looked good for 1980.
Battle Beyond the Stars. Well, it's 1980. But if you have you watched Rebel Moon? So if you haven't, then I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's like, it's something else. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm gonna shut up. It really the entire
Struggle
time
Boxing says, no, I haven't seen it. Spoil it. I'm not one of these pansies.
well, sometimes I like a good story and I don't want people telling me about it. I like House of the Dragon so much, and I'm happy that I actually haven't read the books because, you know, the season finishes with a cliffhanger and you expect, oh, it's gonna be, war. The first episode of season 2 is gonna be all out war. And no, it's slow pace and stuff, and all of a sudden, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6 is some of the best dragon fighting I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen battle dragons like this. It is so well done. But okay, back to Rebel Moon. Basically, a farmer village comes under the influence of the Empire that want to steal all their food. So the girl goes to planet and planet trying to recruit a bunch of people to take on the Empire. So she goes to one planet, hey, do you want to join my cause? And the guy's like, okay, I'll do it. They go to another planet, hey, I need help. Do you want to come? And the guy's like, okay, let's do it. Getting to the third planet, am I getting paid for this? No, we're farmers. We don't have any money. Do you still want to come and take on the Empire for us? And the guy's like, okay. Like the dialogue is so stupid. Nobody in their right mind would do it. You know, then you watch, Battle Beyond the Stars, and it's the same thing. This planet is being held hostage by the Empire, and they manage to send out this spaceship, and the guy goes through from planet to planet to planet, trying to recruit somebody to take on the Empire to free his planet. But at least there's dialogue. He has to convince the people to come. They don't want to do it. And some of the people he comes across are pretty damn sexy. But there's really good actors too, and they all have their characters. So it's not only about the dialogue, you have the character building, the world building. Everything is okay. Rebel Moon, you know, 3/4 into the story, you discover that the girl that's going to all these planets was actually like the bodyguard of the Emperor, but decided to leave the Empire and just become a farmer. So she just wants to protect the village that adopted her
Struggle
when
Boxing says, the director's cut is nearly 2 hours longer. It was going to be NC-17 but it's R, so probably plenty of cheeks.
Oh. Well, I still don't know how that would work. Like, I'm hoping that there's better dialogue, because the dialogue was, I'm complaining now because Genshin used to be a really good storytelling game. And it started, like, the storytelling was more for adolescents. But now, for the past, you know, couple of months, it's written for an 8-year-old. And I am just pulling out whatever hair I don't have left here. I hate stories for 8-year-old children that have no story to them. So Rebel Moon did not have a story that worked. Maybe if you give it another 2 hours, I'll look at it.
Struggle Boxing says, did you ever see Jupiter Rising? If so, how was it?
Let me check here. I'll Google it, because I've seen so much stuff, sometimes I don't know. I do remember a movie called Jupiter. I think it was Jupiter Ascending. I know Jupiter Ascending. I don't know Jupiter Rising. Are you talking about Jupiter Ascending or Jupiter Rising? Because even when I type Jupiter Rising, it sends me to Jupiter Ascending.
Struggle Boxing says, maybe it's related.
Well, I'm not seeing anything for Jupiter Rising. Jupiter Rising was an American pop duo consisting of Jesse Payo and Spencer Neasy. I don't think you're talking about a rock band or a pop band. Yeah, Jupiter Rising was a pop band.
Struggle Boxing says, NVM it was ascending.
Never mind it. Yeah, okay. So yes, I did see Jupiter Ascending. It was not as good as I thought it would be. I was hoping for something really mind-blowing. I was hoping for
Struggle
another
Boxing says, how was it?
I was hoping for another Star Wars. It was not that. But it was still a good movie. Some people hate it. I thought it was okay. I like the sci-fi genre, so I enjoyed it. It just was not next level for me. I was hoping for next level. It was not next level. But it was good. I mean, if you're asking me, Rebel Moon, Jupiter Ascending, well, I definitely prefer Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending was so much better than Rebel Moon. I don't know about the director's cut, but whatever I saw
Struggle
on
Boxing
TV.
says, okay, cool. I'll probably watch it then.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jupiter Ascending was also made by a French director who did what was it, that sci-fi show with Bruce Willis? Where he was like a taxi cab driver. Something 5. Sci-fi Bruce Willis. No, it wasn't Armageddon. Bruce Willis 10 sci-fi shows. Stargate's Class, Unbreakable, Fifth Element. I think
Struggle Boxing says, Fifth Element.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it might be the same guy that did the Fifth Element that did Jupiter Ascending. I might be completely mistaken here. Initially, I didn't really like the Fifth Element when it came out. It's kind of grown on me since then. But I think like both movies are French directors. I might be mistaken if it's the same guy. But yeah, I did like Jupiter Ascending. if that makes any sense. But it's different. It's kind of different.
Struggle Boxing says, Jupiter Ascending director is THR Wachowski brothers, I mean sisters. The Matrix guys / girls.
Are you sure? Could be. Could be I'm completely mistaken. Okay. Okay, let's look at this again. Jupiter Ascending.
Struggle Boxing says, yep.
Okay. Roadshow, cinematography. So they did direct it. Why did I have that French dude in my mind then? Directed by, written by them, edited by Burner. Okay, well, I'm completely mistaken then. Okay, so I even forget the the French director I had in mind, I forgot. Okay, well, it makes sense why it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Struggle Boxing says, I didn't know the name but I remembered the directors.
Well, they did a good series. I forget what it was called, where everybody could feel everybody else. It was really good. But I don't know even how the Wachowskis sisters are pretty hit and miss. Like they did a very good first Matrix movie. I liked them all, you know, I liked all three movies. I hated the fourth. I don't know why they made the fourth. I liked the first three. The first one was really good. The two other ones did not need to exist. Honestly, I liked them, but they did not need to exist.
Struggle Boxing says, I didn't see the fourth yet.
Oh man, it's really bad. It's like, raise your hand if you want to do a fourth movie, and nobody raises their hand. And they're like, okay, well, we'll put money on the table and raise your hand when it's enough money. And at some point, there was enough money, so they all came back to do a movie. But it's like, okay, well, since everybody's fed up of this movie, we're going to make the anti-Matrix movie out of this to get you motivated to do it. So everything that happened in the first, second, and third movie, it's going to be destroyed in the fourth.
Struggle
Like, no,
Boxing says, did you ever see the Animatrix? It was really good immo.
Animatrix. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm guessing it has to do something with Animatrix from 2003. Then there's a couple of. I might have seen that. If I did, I saw it a long time ago, and I probably didn't like it because I don't remember it. The anime compiles 9 animated shorts. Okay, well, maybe that's why I didn't like it. I don't like anime shorts usually.
Struggle Boxing says. Oh, okay, 9.
So I might have seen it. I don't remember it. I probably didn't like it because I tend not to like shorts in general. I am looking forward to Terminator Zero. It really looks good. I don't think it's going to be a kids show. It's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be an anime series of Terminator, but it doesn't look like it's made for kids. It looks like Attack on Titan, but in the Terminator era. I could be mistaken. I don't think it'll be as gruesome as Attack on Titan, but
Struggle Boxing says. The episode where they show the first war between the humans and Machines was good.
the machines. Well, it's like, what is that? What is it that I saw? I saw a couple of Star Wars short videos too, but it was a different story every episode, and I like there was one of them that I liked, and all the others I didn't. Like, I really usually don't like that kind of format. I like to get into a show or a movie or something. If that makes any sense. I like cartoons, even though they're an half an hour, but at least it's continuous. I'm really liking Grandizer. Grandizer used to be an anime series that got me into all the
Struggle Boxing
animes.
says. Did you see Equilibrium?
Yes, I saw Equilibrium. Love that. I loved it. It was nuts. Taking medication to follow the government's thing, and it was so Ritalin. I liked it.
Struggle Boxing says. That was so good.
I did like it. I mean, it's not for everybody, but I really liked it. Finding a room with books and stuff and everything's illegal, and I really liked it. Maybe not in my top 10, maybe not in my top 100, but it's up there. Like, for fun, it's like,
Struggle Boxing says. It came out around the same time The Matrix came out, so it got no recognition.
no, it came out way after. When did Equilibrium came out? Came out like 5 years after. 2002, so it came out 2 years after Matrix. It was not the same thing at all. I I can't even I I see where you can draw some parallels, but it was a completely different movie. Even the context, everything is totally different. I never compared the two. Other than at times, okay, they're dressed in black with sunglasses on, maybe. Not even then, they're just two different movies. But
Struggle
both of
Boxing says. Matrix was huge for years after it came out.
well, it was kind of funny because back in the day, I used to work for Matrox when the movie came out. So replace the I with an O. I used to work there. So I'll always remember it because everybody was talking about it and it was almost the same name as the company name. Matrox still does, but they used to make video cards. You know, there was Radeon, there was Nvidia, and the third company that nobody ever talked about was Matrox. But now they've gone into more professional studio kind of stuff. They don't really make video cards anymore for PCs. Unless you're a designer or something. But like they were the first to have the triple screen televisions and stuff. But now their equipment is more organized to run like 10 screens and 10 cameras and 10 everything, you know. It's more high-end studio stuff that they're making now. Back then it was cool. I was working there and everybody was talking about the Matrix. Did you see the Matrix? Did you see the Matrix? And I'm like, no, I did not see the Matrix. I saw the Matrix when it came out on DVD. I never saw it in theaters. I so hate myself for it. I
Struggle
was
Boxing
going.
says. It fun saying Matrix. Don't forget about ATI. They was good and AMD got a bunch of their tech when they bought M. Struggle Boxing says. Matrox.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I was meaning there. The, Radeon, ATI, whatever. You had NVIDIA. Well, actually, you had Voodoo, NVIDIA, and ATI back then. And AMD bought ATI, NVIDIA bought Voodoo, nobody bought Matrox, and they just went under the radar. But they were always, like, I worked at the manufacturing plant, so I know that they were happy with their third place video card place thingy, but a lot of their stuff was catered more towards the professional stuff. And I was really mad at them because they tried, to bring some of the professional stuff to a more affordable thing. But even, you got a $5,000 video equipment for your PC, which is very expensive back then. Even if it was $500 home studio thing, it was still expensive because video cards were like $100, $200, $300 top of the line. They were trying to bring an affordable home studio for $500 mainstream, and they had this plastic box that was really cheap.
Struggle Boxing says. That's like 20k now.
Yeah, they had this, you had the main box, but you had this other little box that you plug all your cables into, and then one cable went to the main box. But this little box where you plug all your cables was light. And I said it felt cheap. So you know what they did? We had to screw a metal plate about this thick, a square metal plate this thick into that plastic little box. So I'm holding the box and I'm like, okay, this feels like $500 now. It feels heavy. It feels good. I feel like I'm buying something for $500. But otherwise, you'd plug cables in, and depending on how the cables would twist, that little box would fly all over the place and follow the cables. It was so light. But man, I had so many troubles with that box. You know how plastic is done? It's injected into molds. And
Struggle
unfortunately,
Boxing says. There are controllers that have weights in M. I took an out and the controller feels much better.
well, it's in your hand, so it's supposed to be light, but if you put something on the table and you plug a cable, it's like having a phone. If you plug the cable into it and the phone starts popping out because it's too light because the cable is lifting it up in the air, you don't feel like you have your money's worth in the phone. if the cable is heavier than the box. But back to my plastic injection thing, there wasn't enough pressure to get enough plastic into it. So sometimes I would open these boxes and I have to assemble them, but it just looks like two melted pieces of plastic because there's not enough plastic in it. So all the edges looks like they're melted. I had so much trouble with those things back in the day. But the owners came down on the floor to talk to me. I never saw that anywhere. You have 2,000 employees in the workshop. There's two owners, and they come down to the floor and talk to me. I was the only person running multi windows on my monitor because back then we only had one monitor. So I would shrink all the windows so I could fit everything. And I need to scan things. I need to put them in. I need serial numbers for my things. And I had everything in one screen, and they never saw an employee do that back then. You know, you have like 10 screens that you need to input data into. And most people would open one window, close that window, open the other window, close that window, open the other window. I just shrank every window and put them on the screen and just click where I needed to input the data, and man.
Struggle Boxing says. They probably thought you was a computer guru.
No, but they all smiled at me, you know. And then with this box thing, they decide, because how they brought this thing into the department and they asked me to build the first couple of these things, you know. And I was doing such a great job that, you know, there's cameras everywhere. So then they decided to do the assembly line. They took everything that I was doing and chopped it up. Like I said, every window was a station. So I had like 10 windows on my screen. They created 10 stations, and everybody would do one thing, scan it, put it on the conveyor belt, and the thing would go on to the next person. The next person would do the other thing, scan the other thing into the window, put it on the belt. It would go on to the next and to the next. Unfortunately, back then, I had a girlfriend who answered the phone and said, "Yeah, you know what? The aircraft industry wants you back there and they're offering you twice as much money. I know you hate working there, but would you still do it for me?" And I quit that job to go and work back in the aircraft industry. I was working so much overtime that the person I was with back then said we no longer have a life as a
Struggle Boxing
couple.
says. That sounds like a fun job.
Yeah, so she said, since I'm doing all this overtime and everything, we no longer have a couple's life, and therefore she left me. So I left a good job for her for this other job that made me miserable, but paid me more money. And I still did something stupid like that a couple of years ago. That's why I'm in the situation I'm here. I used to work, you know, another job that wasn't perfect, but was okay for me. I enjoyed it. And then my girlfriend's like, "I don't want a part-time boyfriend, so you need to move in with me and leave that job because, you know, find yourself something else." And then her ex-husband became jealous, and then they got back together again, and I was kicked out to the street again. So I left my job for somebody and ended up in the street again. After I swore myself I would never do it again, 25 years later, I did it again. Or 20 years later, I did it again. Not happy. But yeah, Matrox was a great job. I mean, 95% of the employees were all women. So when you're 20 years old, you go to work somewhere. Like there's 5 guys and 990 women in the place. I mean, there's 3 shifts, you know. There's 3,000 people working there, 1,000 during the day, 1,000 during the evening, and 1,000 during the night shift. And there's like 10 guys that work there. 3 on the day shift, 3 there, 3 there, and but everybody was dressed in blue. So
DP Moden says, I'm back.
Welcome back. Everybody was dressed in blue, so we all called ourselves Smurfs. It was really funny. I really enjoyed that. I had so much fun there. It was a cool job. And I tried going back there,
Struggle
but
Boxing says, I like that ratio.
well, you know, maybe, you know, if you're gay, maybe not. If you're bisexual, maybe not. Maybe, you know. There was a lot of
Struggle
women.
Boxing says, it sounds great.
There was a lot of lesbians. Which is okay, but I mean, you know, at some point, 95% of the employees are all women. Unfortunately, when I was hired because the company, how can I say? There was a company that started up, got a lot of money from the government, turned around and stole every other company's employees. And that's what happened to Matrox. They lost a bunch of employees. So when I got there, they already had the policy of not taking any employees back that previously worked there. And when I left and tried going back there, they would not have it because of that policy.
Struggle Boxing says, sounds like Apple.
Could be, I don't know how Apple is. I would not be surprised if you work for Apple and then you go and work for IBM. It's hard to go back to work for Apple again, no matter how good you are. I really regretted it because, you know, it it was really good, except that one
DP
day
Moden says, are you going to be streaming tomorrow?
I stream practically almost every day. So, yeah. I stream as much as I can. If I'm not streaming tomorrow, it's because of a snowstorm. I don't have electricity. I don't have internet. Otherwise, I stream. Times might vary because sometimes I do videos, so I need to record my videos. I need to edit my videos. But I do stream every day. But yeah, I really regret not working at Matrox. But there was one thing there, though, that bothered me. My back, my back seized up one day. I could not move. I could not bend. Everything was super painful. It's like every time I try to move my back or turn or twist or anything, it feels like something was crushing my lungs. And that's one bad aspect of working there was you're always grabbing something from the right or the left. So you go there, you put it there, you put it there. You're always moving around. and you're twisting your back constantly during the day, so it's no
DP Modem
surprise.
says, that feels horrible.
So at some point, my back did seized up one day. Like I could not move it, I could not lift anything. It was the first and the last time it's ever been that bad. I've had my back seized up a couple of times since then, but nothing like that first time that happened to me. So it was a great job, but maybe I would have had major back surgery if had I kept working there. Although maybe I would have been promoted to a director and had an office job, so who knows? There was a lot of promotions going on there, and I was getting along with everybody there. The thing is that sometimes the heads up wants to send you somewhere. Like, I would have rather be moved to quality control than being moved to shipping and packaging. It's, my boss comes and tells me one day, "What do you think about shipping and packaging?" Because I knew the girl that ran it, and we got into a lot of arguments, but we were very friendly. But we were yelling at each other, you know,
DP Modem
and
says, I tried to donate to you but it didn't work for some reason.
what do you mean you tried to donate? Did you click on the super chat? Is that what you're talking about? Super chats should be working perfectly because Dante sends me super chats all the time. Feel free to buy me a coffee. Maybe you were trying to give me too much money, which I doubt. Or maybe your account is not set up with YouTube. I don't know. I'm not aware. I'm not a guru. But yeah,
DP Modem says, yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to tell you how that works, but you need to hook up your account, so. But yeah, I really like that job, but they were talking to me, my immediate boss was talking to me about going to shipping and packaging just because I would constantly tell that department's boss to F off in front of everybody, but we were friendly. We were just going at it for the fun of going at it. Like, it was just a show that we were putting on. We really enjoyed each other and everything else. But some people did not like her in the head of that department and wanted me to be her boss. And then you had the, inspectors, quality control guys that really enjoyed me, really enjoyed the way that I worked. And they also wanted me, but by then I left the company to go and work in the aircraft industry, and it was a crazy time back then. Okay. I'm starting to get hungry. I've been talking a lot and not playing so much. I need to remove the car thingy here and put myself on a bigger screen.
Struggle Boxing says, how was your Christmas parties back then at that job?
I could not say because I wasn't there long enough. I got hired right. I started working right after the holidays. Actually, no. I think I had my 3 months probation before the holidays. We had a week's vacation at the holidays. And yeah. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, I started on the day shift for 3 months, and then we switched me over to the evening shift after the holidays. So I'm not aware of any Christmas party back then. And by the next Christmas, I was already gone. So unfortunately, I don't know. But there was a lot of offices. They had, that's another thing they had there. They had gaming testers, people that play games just to test out the hardware. They had engineers, departments. They had so many departments, from A to Z, from conceiving something to the prototypes to the assembly of mass production and testing the equipment out. They did everything in house. Well, actually, it was three buildings, one next to the other. I mean, they had their own daycare, they had their own everything. Man, unfortunately, the salaries were not good, but I mean, if you work in the place for 20 years, obviously the salary goes up. But, in the first year, you're getting pennies for the amount of work that you were doing. That's kind of why when the aircraft industry called and are offering you 2 and 3 times the salary, a person I was with back then said, yeah, think about that. Yeah, well, think about doing a job that you really hate. I'll take less money for a job that I enjoy doing. I mean, I've had a couple of jobs that I really enjoy. Like, my one of my first jobs was washing dishes. And you might think that's a really crappy job, but I had so much fun with the kitchen staff.
DP Moden says. Have to go bye.
Okay, bye boys. One of my first jobs was washing dishes, and just because of the staff and getting along with everybody, I really felt bad
Struggle
leaving there.
Boxing says. When I was little, Walmart had a jungle gym area with the balls like Chuck E. Cheese, and parents would leave their kids there while they shopped, and I bet some would leave the kids there and just leave.
Mm, maybe. Who knows? A lot of, that's. Today, I would not be surprised of seeing that in Canada, but back then, that would not be something that happened. But today, pretty much everything goes. It's a sad state of affairs.
Struggle Boxing says. They had an employee that had to watch the kids.
Well,
LOL.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But yeah, like I said, it was all women working there, so a lot of single moms or moms with young children, and they had their own daycare.
Struggle
And
Boxing says. Not for that employee.
well, I don't know. I don't know. Some people like working with kids. From the ages of 9 years old to 14 years old, I did a lot of martial arts back then. Like I was 7 years old doing martial arts. So by the time I was like maybe 10 years old, I started teaching to the kids. And by the age of 12,
Struggle Boxing says. It was like a Walmart cashier that they would assign to do that job.
Well, that kind of sucks, but by the time I was 12 years old, I was teaching adults. But I started by teaching kids, and I was 10 years old. I was a kid. Like, you have your sensei, and you do your salute at the beginning. And then you have the warm-up exercises for an half an hour, 40 minutes. And then the master comes back at the end for 15 minutes. Teaches a few things. And you do the salute to the sensei again, and then the hour is over. So for an half an hour, 40 minutes, 3 times a week, I was in charge of the kids. And I was a kid myself. And I had a lot of fun. And so did all the kids. Getting to do push-ups and all kinds of stuff was a lot of fun. Running around and doing the jumping jacks and all that stuff. Doing all the basic moves, all the basic stuff, and then the new stuff, the sensei would come in at the end and teach the new stuff to the kids. And so I never had an issue with kids. Then again, as an adult, I really find them annoying. And I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Struggle Boxing says. Trying to teach my stupid sister when I was a kid made me hate trying to teach anyone anything. So I hate trying to teach people anything.
I'm a good teacher, but then again, like you're talking about your sister. I tried to teach my sister driving standard shift in the car. And she couldn't go up the hill with the friction point and engage and would stall the thing. And she just got out of the car.
Struggle Boxing says. I suck at teaching.
And, in the middle of, the car's on a small slope. And she just gets out of the car. No handbrakes. The car is not in first gear. It's running in neutral. And the car starts going backwards and I'm in the passenger seat. So, handbrake. Luckily, it's not in the Ferrari where the handbrake's on the door side. It's in the center console. But yeah, teaching my sister, I don't recommend that to anybody. Crazy stuff. So yeah, I've had some bad experiences. And honestly, I can't stand kids anymore. My neighbor has like 5 kids and he's separated, so she's not there anymore. But 5 kids, all under the age of 7 years old, All you hear is screaming and this and that, and even when she was there, she'd get out and start screaming. She couldn't deal with it anymore. And when they're outside, I can't deal with them. I just can't stand them. Strangely enough, I used to be a kid and used to love kids. But I've gotten to this age now where, you know what? No. I can't stand them anymore. And like you say, even adults,
Struggle Boxing says. My friend tried to teach me how to drive stick and I reversed super fast and he said get out, all I know how to do is drive backwards fast. Struggle Boxing says. All you.
Well, strangely enough, when I first started driving, that's what my father taught me, is how to drive in reverse. He would have me, go straight, we'd go to the parking lot and drive straight. Then we get to the end of the parking lot, he would say, put it in reverse and then go backwards. The only thing I kind of like and I don't like is that he had me turn over my head and stuff so I would be looking out back to know where I was going. That's a really good thing. That's what you should do. But I would have also liked them to teach me how to look in the mirrors and park the car using my mirrors. You don't need to do it in a car, but when you have a van or minivan or a truck or a 10-wheeler or a trailer and you can't see out back, I really wish I knew how to judge distances in the mirrors. Like, I use my mirrors to see people coming at me and whatnot, but I'm not really comfortable backing up using my mirrors. I will roll down the window and look outside of the vehicle
Struggle
to
Boxing says. Yeah, looking back when going in reverse is a lost art.
Yes. Unfortunately, yeah, because now you have the backup cameras, which is not good. But you can see lower, so if you have a young kid that is lower than the trunk, maybe it's a good thing to have a camera, but I still think it's better to look. But, you know, I really wish I knew how to be able to back up using my mirrors. Which, even to this day, I don't know how to do it. And I'm just in a situation where I don't have to do it. Like, I don't drive 10-wheelers and stuff, so who cares? It's not like I have a big trailer with a yacht that I need to bring anywheres or. But you figured out, like maybe one day I'll buy a Winnebago. Yeah, well, try to back up that Winnebago. You need your mirrors to know where you're backing up into. And that's something I can't do. I will roll out the window and stick my head out. And, if I need to go, stand up on the pedals to have enough of my body outside to know where I'm backing up into, I'll do that. I cannot use mirrors to back up. I wish that I had learned that younger. Well, such is life. Okay, well, I haven't been playing, so I think it's time for me to call it quits on the stream. Struggle boxing, I miss talking to you, dude.
Struggle Boxing says. I didn't know how to reverse a jet ski trailer down the ramp. The people waiting for me got so fed up they did it for me.
Yeah, well, see, that's what happens. And one day my motorcycle broke down and got a trailer to bring it back here. And trust me, I
Struggle
never,
Boxing says. Same here, I'll be back more often.
you know, I just put myself in a position where I did not have to back out with that trailer attached. That's it. That's all, folks. Okay, Struggle Boxing. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope I do see you more often. And yeah, folks, please leave a like on the stream and the videos. Leave a comment if you liked it or even if you hate it. Let me know what I could do better. And again, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next stream, everybody's.